Good morning, sir. I think we entered. Hello. இதெல்லாம் அப்படியே இருக்கு பாருங்க. அப்படியே இருக்கு காரணம்.
Good morning, Mr. Kennedy.
Yes, sir. Very good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Very good morning. Very good morning, sir.
Good.
Very good morning, sir. Welcome to the
Thank
webinar,
you.
sir.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. I am in the line. We'll start at
Thank you.
exactly 10:25. We'll start, sir.
10:25. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Welcome.
No problem. Oh, Kunasheran has joined.
Yeah,
Yes,
Gunasharan
sir.
also.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, sir is here.
Professor.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you, Professor?
I'm fine.
Yes, yes.
Your video is little more clarity is required, sir. I think. Professor, sir.
What do you
yours,
want
sir.
me? Huh?
I mean, the clarity is little less, sir. Can you able to switch on and right, sir?
You want me to put on the light?
Now somewhat better. Yeah, yes.
it okay now? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Is
Better,
it
sir.
okay?
Yeah, better, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
better, sir. Now. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hari is there? Hari Satish?
Sir, yes, sir.
Yeah. All our faculty are joining, still joining.
Sir, still joining, sir. We are giving acceptance, sir.
Yeah. Please go ahead. We'll start now, or
At least-
we'll wait for 5 minutes.
We can
yes,
wait
sir.
for
At
another
least,
2
allow
to
at least 100
Sure, sir.
people to join.
We'll start at exactly.
Now it is 69.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. We'll
Yeah.
start at. Sure, sir. Sure. We'll wait for another 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Go ahead.
I will start at exactly 10:30, sir.
Yeah, no problem.
3 more minutes.
Yeah.
Sir, principal, sir.
Yeah, I'm in there. Are you hearing me?
Hello.
I'm here. Yeah,
Yes,
can you
sir.
hear me?
We'll start sharply at 10:30 because people are joining now.
Let people join. Yeah. I'm seeing that. Let them join. Wait for another 2 minutes. I think it's time to start. Shall we start now?
Yes, sir. But VPs are not in the line, sir.
Pardon? VP.
VP is not in the.
Yeah, give a call. Send a message.
Sure.
Sir, shall we start,
Yeah.
sir?
Yeah, I'm waiting for you only. Right now,
All right,
start.
sir. Fluctuation.
Yeah, we'll go ahead.
Okay. Respected, am I audible, sir?
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Respected chief guest of the day, Professor Dr. Sivasubramanian, former Vice Chancellor, Bharathiar University, sir. Respected Principal Dr. R. Paulson Kennedy, sir. Respected Principal of Arts and Science, Dr. Gunasheran, sir. Faculty members, heads of the departments, and people have joined from various other institutions. Very, very good morning, everybody. It's indeed our pleasure to offer such a program towards research and accreditation, right? So we in PERI strives to focus to engage faculty and students in all the means. So we have been conducting various kinds of events so far, and we could able to get more number of participants of whatever the event we are conducting, right? So thank you so much for your encouragement and participation. With that, I'm ready to begin the event. I'd like to invite our respected principal, sir, to welcome the gathering.
Sorry for the interruptions.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
about
tell me.
Tamil Thavarthu, sir? Can I play now?
Yeah, play it. Go ahead.
Sure, sir.
Yeah. Mr. Satish,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
it's not audible. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sir, you can start, please.
Yeah.
Hello.
Sir, very good morning.
Principal, sir, you can start, please.
Yeah. Yeah, very good morning. Respected Professor Dr. S. Sivasubramanian, former Vice Chancellor, Bharathiar University, and former Vice Chancellor, Nurul Islam University. Most respected Chairman of the institution, Sri Saravana Perisami Sir, COO, Principal Arts College, Dr. Gunasayan Sir, Vice Principal, head of the departments, faculty members, and dear participants. Very good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of PERI Institute of Technology, I welcome one and all for this webinar series titled Engineering Research Outcome-Based Approach. I think somebody is running a music behind. Can you switch on? Can you switch off it? Hello? Can you hear me?
Your voice is audible,
Sir,
sir.
you
go
can
ahead, sir.
continue your audience.
Yeah, okay. Yes. So it's my duty to extend a warm welcome to the Professor Dr. S. Sivasubramanian Sir, who has been Vice Chancellor for a period of say about 6 to 7 years, 3 years in tenure in Bharathiar University. I welcome you, sir. This is my, I know this is, everybody knows you are well-known academician in Tamil Nadu. That is needless to introduce you, but it's a customary duty for me to brief you, give a brief introduction. Professor has received his degree in organic chemistry, postdoctoral degree. Later on, he has received his postdoctoral fellowship in Drexel University, Philadelphia, USA. Sir has started his career in Madurai Kamaraj University as a reader, professor. Later on, he is promoted as a senior professor and then head of the department. Later on, he has become emeritus scientist in CSIR, and then he has been promoted as a vice chancellor to Bharathiar University. In his tenure, he has brought n number of changes in the university. The first thing is that he has recruited 75 number of faculty members on merit basis, which has never occurred earlier for say about 2 decades earlier. And he has brought a lot of changes in the academies, and he has introduced faculties to participate much on conferences and motivate them to present in research areas. He has been instrumental to bring DRDO life science project to Bharathiar University, worth about 22 crore. And later on, under his stewardship, Bharathiar University has received a NAC accreditation with A grade, that is highest.
Sir, your voice is not audible, sir. Kindly unmute, sir.
Now it's clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Is it clear now?
Yes.
Hello?
Clear, sir.
So later on, Sir has moved to Nurul Islam University as a Vice Chancellor. There also brought a lot of changes. He has introduced NBA there, NAC. There also he has received NAC accreditation with A grade. And he has brought the faculty members from college into university level, made them to enhance them to present to suit to the university level. Later, he has moved as a research associate there in Nurul Islam University as advisor. Under his advisorship, the university received more than 60 crores of fund. And later on, he has moved to Wales University, again as advisor. There, he has made a lot of changes. He has advised to recruit more than 220 doctoral faculties to the university and made them to participate in the many researches, and is instrumental to set up a lot of Center of Excellence research labs there. Under his guidance, again, Wales University received a NAC accreditation, A grade there. So such a wonderful personality with us today. He is having more than 3 decades of experience. He has produced more than 20 number of doctorates and 25 number of MPhil candidates. He has been very much instrumental to present a number of papers. Say about 100 plus papers is presented in both national and international level. And he has presented paper in Middle East and Western countries as well. He is an instrumental person, and he has been invited speaker for many conferences and workshops in and around India. And all topics, he has been presented in different topics. He never presented a single topic as the same topic to somewhere else. He has started presented paper like interface of chemistry, physics, green technology, nanotechnology, nanomedicines, science of social science, and IoT. Yes, latest topic like data science, machine learning, many things. Whatever the topic, what not, n number of topics, all are different topics is present to the in the conferences. He has been recognized as a state level as a chairman, member of such committee for vice chancellorship in Tamil Nadu for several universities. He has received several awards from UGC. Received several awards from UGC. He has become a committee member for UGC for several committees like NAC, NBA, UGC. He has received funds worth about 100 crores, and he has been instrumental to bring a number of MOEs in wherever he worked, either in Bharathiar University, Nurul Islam University, or even in Wales University. He has brought a number of MOEs with different industries. There is no doubt he is a wonderful person, such a towering personality with us. He has been, his working style is honesty, integrity, transparency, efficiency, and innovation. That is his personal talents. And for your kind information, on his name, Professor Dr. S. Sivasubramanian Endowment Fund up to ₹2 lakhs has been credited by Madurai Kamaraj University students and well-wishers. Under this endowment fund, many awards has been given every year. Such a wonderful, towering personality with us today as one suitable person for discuss about NAC. So today's topic is NAC, a new format, a paradigm shift. That's going to be a wonderful session for us. Thank you very much, sir. Welcome. Welcome you on behalf of Ministry of Technology. We are expecting your wonderful presentation today, sir. Thank you, sir. Welcome to the seminar. Thank you all. Now over to Dr. S. Sivasubramanian, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Sir, kindly unmute yourself, sir.
Yes, it is muted.
Now I'm back. Oh,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You
sir.
can proceed.
Now it's audible, yeah.
now what? Okay. Principal Professor Paulson Kennedy, Principal Karnagaran of Arts and Science College, the Vice Principal, fellow faculty who are from PERI institutes and drawn from other various institutions across the country. Good morning to everyone. Friends,
Good morning, sir.
the next 2 hours or so, I'll be discussing about the NAC new format, a paradigm shift. Friends, you must understand this topic is wide and vast. In fact, on each of these things, I have given several lectures. And in fact, if you take up research, I'm giving research, original quality innovative research in chemistry, original quality innovative research in sciences, original quality innovative research in general, original quality innovative research in social sciences, original quality innovative research in education, like that. In fact, I have given 3 webinars on governance and best practices, criteria 6 and 7, 3 already webinars. 2,000 people have already had me. So this is a wide topic. Again, a separate webinar on outcome-based therapy. But all these are clubbed together here in this webinar. So it's going to be a very difficult task for me. I want to confine the time of 2 hours also. But at the same time, as far as possible, I try to cover the next 2 hours. With this, let me go to the presentation now. Are you able to see my PPT? Hello? Are you able to see my PPT?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, it is loading. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. We are able to see.
Yes, sir.
Now let me go to slideshow so that you can see the bigger screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Please proceed.
Now it should be clearly visible. So it is visible and I'm audible. Let me go ahead. Shall I?
Yes, sir. Please. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Well, friends, NAC stands for Quality in Higher Education. So automatically the first question is, what is quality in higher education? To prepare the children of this great country to face the challenges in life with confidence, ethics, values. When I say values, truth and righteousness, good citizenship, and service-mindedness to the society. That is, a quality education must build character and contribution. The second aspect of quality education is to prepare the children with the necessary knowledge and skills. Please remember, most of us are under the impression it is our duty just to impart knowledge. No, it is not sufficient. Our children should be imparted both knowledge and skills so that they are able to get employment, seek power, position, etc. And see, there is some disturbance. There is some disturbance. Please unmute them. There is some disturbance. Please unmute them.
Sorry, please unmute it.
And earn necessary money to lead a comfortable life. The final aim of the quality in higher education is to seek the truth in everything we come across. Don't believe just because Professor Siva says, or Professor Paulson Kennedy says, or Professor Karnagaran says. Question everything. Only when there is truth, you accept it. That is the way quality in higher education must be known. In short, education is not only for employment, but also to enlighten, empower, and develop a holistic individual. Please note that word, holistic individual, whose moral compass will never sway from the righteous path. The education must build character, caliber, and capacity besides promoting rightful conduct. Friends, quality education must bring out globally competitive and socially responsive citizens with intrinsic values. Remember, PERI Institute of Technology or PERI Arts and Science College must not produce graduates just for Tamil Nadu or India. They should be globally competitive. Now, quality education must produce intellectuals, not just degree holders, as is done by majority of the Indian HCS. I am not saying this. The UGC quality mandate says very clearly, most of the higher education institutions in this country produce just degree holders who cannot be even employable and who cannot contribute to the society in many ways. So, the responsibility of the higher education institution is to churn out the graduates to be intellectual. That is very, very important. Well, with this background, we are passing out accreditation by NAC, the new format. Friends, the revised assessment and accreditation framework was launched in the year July 2017. Please note, it represents an explicit paradigm shift, total shift, making it ICT enabled, everything ICT, objective, transparent, scalable, and robust. How the shift is? From qualitative peer judgment to data-based quantitative indicator evaluation. Previously, we used to go 3 or 4, depending upon the institution. Whatever report we give is the final word. And in that process, some of the PhD members might be influenced, and thereby the institution may get a higher rank, or because of some other reason, they may put a lower rank. So it is not a true reflection. Most of them is okay, but in many cases, it was not a true reflection of the action. And therefore, many people complain, and that qualitative peer judgment has now been replaced by quantitative, that is data-based assessment with increased objectivity and transparency. As I said, towards the extensive use of ICT, confirming scalability and robustness. Again, in terms of simplification of the process, drastic reduction in the number of questions, size of the report, number of visitors, and so on. Again, in terms of boosting benchmarking, please note, this is very important. In terms of boosting benchmarking as quality improvement tool, because now our NAC parameters are akin to whatever quality parameters that are adopted by all the nations, be it USA or UK or Australia and so on. You may ask me a question. What is that? This is due to the Washington Accord. Because of it, suppose PERI Institute, I know it has not gone for NAC accreditation. If it gets A grade, a student who has passed BE Mechanical Engineering or PERI Institute, if he has got A grade, can automatically join any institution in USA or UK, the MS degree or ME degree. Previously, only they can join. Because of the boosting of benchmarking, that NAC, the assessment process, has been made as equivalent to those of the assessment parameters by USA, UK, and other countries. So, in terms of boosting benchmarking, as quality improvement tool, this has been attempted through comparison of NAC indicators with other international quality assessment frameworks. Again, introduce a pre-qualifier for the PhD visit. See, unless otherwise, I will be saying later on, when you talk about data, 70% of the marks are obtained from quantitative data. And only rest 30% by the PA team missing. So you cannot, even if you make the PA team 30%, you cannot get A or A plus unless our quant data has a rich mark. Now, so in that quantitative, please note, NAC is evolving and changing several things based on the representation from the stakeholders. Now the NAC has revised or upgraded the whole proposal in February 2020. I repeat, February, a new manual has come for the universities, for the autonomous colleges, for the colleges also. Again, in the case of colleges, there is a separation. Previously, there was no separation. This separation has come only from February 2020, whereby UG colleges are differentiated from PG colleges. Please note, the NAC has different parameters for UG colleges and different parameters for PG colleges since February 2020. So, when you are giving the data, when the assessment is made, you should get minimum, previously 30%, now minimum 20%, so that a PA team can visit. If it is less than that, the PA team will not come, and therefore it is called the pre-qualifier. And then introducing a system generated source. That's what I was talking about. With combination of online evaluation. You give the data, that will be assessed by the system, and it will evaluate based on quantitative matrices, and peer judgment about 30% based on qualitative matrices. So there are two matrices. Quantitative accounts for 70%, qualitative accounts for 30%. Again, in introducing an element of third-party validation of data, please note, the data we submit are validated by somebody else, not by the NAC, because there is accusation even on the NAC body also. So, NAC is the third party. This time it may be HCL, next time it may be Pro, next time it may be some other company. So they will try to change. That party will validate whatever data that you are given is right or wrong. So the data you are submitting will be validated by a third party. In providing appropriate differences in the matrices and weightages, and benchmarks, universities are different, autonomous colleges are different, affiliated constituent colleges, they are different. Even among the constituent colleges or affiliate colleges, UG colleges are different from PG colleges. So appropriate differences in matrices are there. In revising several matrices to bring enhanced participation of students and alumni, previously it was further. Students have a say, alumni have a say in the assessment process. It is attempted to enlarge the digital coverage of the entire process of assessment and accreditation. Everything is digitalized. This, it is believed, will not only accelerate the process, but also bring in greater objectivity into the process. Overall, the assessment is expected to serve as a catalyst for the institutional self-improvement. Because you know where you are in comparison with other institutions. So it serves as a catalyst for institutional self-improvement, promote innovation, and strengthen the edge to excel. Because when there's, see, just a week back, there was the NIRF rank released. So everybody has time to look at and compare. Now everybody wants to improve. So there will be an edge to improve. Please note the possible differentiation required in respect to higher education institutions, which are going for subsequent cycles of assessment and accreditation, and the appropriate scope has been provided in the process. This will allow the HCAs to appropriately represent the development that has happened before, that is after the first cycle, between the second cycle, or between the second cycle and third cycle, like that. Now, in short, the revised framework, it has got 7 criteria. In criteria 1, there is a major departure.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the PPT is like the full view of PPT is not clear.
I have done it fully there. What am I to do?
No, but it's not like
as it is.
we are getting.
Huh?
No, we are getting as a 2 screens, like the
It's kind of overlapping, sir.
Okay.
overlapping.
Okay.
Can you do it again, please?
Yeah,
Yes.
I will do it again.
Sorry, joined again. Let's start.
Are you able to see now? No.
Presentation is not coming, sir.
Yeah, I'm just checking.
Okay. Payment went up.
You are unable to see. Am I right?
The slide is there, not your present. It's coming, sir.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Expanded.
No, sir. PPT is not visible, sir. You are presenting your total screen.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think you have to present the window. Yeah, it's opening now,
Now what's happening?
but it is empty PPT.
Yeah, empty. I had never experienced this problem. This is the first time I experienced.
So we have a problem, sir.
Oh, no, 1 minute.
Let us solve that. So now you can open the PPT so it will be visible, sir. You open your own PPT presentation.
Yeah, yes, sir. It's coming.
Yeah. Now it should be visible. Am I right? Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yes, it is. Yes, sir.
Please proceed, sir.
Whether is there any overlap? No overlap. Am I right?
Not overlap, but you have to
Whether there's
go
overlap.
full screen.
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, I'll go.
You press. Yes.
Slide show. Now it's okay.
No, sir. It's again the same, but I think you can proceed. There is no other options. So you can go ahead. No problem, sir. It is visible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the revised
The revised format, yes, sir. Please go ahead.
in creative, yeah, in the creative one, there is a major change. Outcome-based curriculum has been introduced. That's what you have to talk about. In Criterion 2, previously we were not talking about teachers' profile and quality. Now you have to talk about teachers' profile. When I say teachers' profile, what is their qualification and how many FDPs they have undergone, all those things. Then attainment of student outcome has to be introduced. And finally, there is a student satisfaction survey. It carries 60 marks. Please note, the students' satisfaction level must be visible in this survey. And in the Criterion 3, they have introduced a new concept, innovation ecosystem. That is new. IPR activity, incubation center, etc. And Criterion 4, there is no change. And in Criterion 5, new concept, alumni engagement. Criterion 6, internal quality assurance system. Previously, it was internal assurance quality cell. Now that is replaced by system. Please remember, previously the cell was responsible. When I say system, I mean to say the management, the principal, the HODs, the teachers, the students, parents, alumni. Every stakeholder is responsible for the quality. That's why it's called internal quality assurance system. And the Criterion 7 has been modified as institutional values and social responsibilities. There is one important factor, the institution's distinctness. In what way this institution is different from others? Well, in the revised format, we will talk about examination manual, when we talk about evaluation, publication per faculty. Please note, publication per faculty, not the department. Project per faculty only for universities, but projects per department in the case of colleges. Institutions need money for research. Projects from non-governmental sources, startups, revenue out of corporate trainees, e-governance. These are all some of the new factors. Again, submission of SSR online, previously hard copies. Evaluate report of the departments only for universities, not for colleges. Please note, colleges need not give evaluate report to the departments. There is no DVV there. That is data verification validation. I said third party will validate that. Please note, this is important. A wrong data or fraudulent data results in penalty. That's more important. So you cannot afford to make mistakes. Student feedback now at the NAC level. The moment you submit your SSR, next minute the third party will start getting the feedback on the teaching learning process. Please note, this is only for the teaching learning process from the students. You have to give the list of students of the current year. At least 20% of the students must respond. Only then the 60 marks will be given. And grade qualifier for peer visit, I already talked to them. Minimum 28% from the quantitator. No such thing was there earlier. Transparency. Now forced host everything in the institute's website, including the faculty, name, qualification, when they join, etc. Previously, I know many colleges, if there are some qualified faculty, PhDs, they'll be shown in 5 or 6 colleges. Now it is not possible because you have to give not only the name, his Aadhaar card, PAN card, everything. He will be caught. So this has made the institutions not to afford to make mistakes. And many things have been made mandatory. And therefore, everything has become transparent, which was not there earlier. There's a time frame for everything. Suppose you submit IAQA, within 10 days you'll get the answer. Then within 1 month, DVV process will be done. Then within another month, there will be missing. So there is a time frame for everything. There was no such case earlier. And this is again very important. NAC new format still evolving. Please note, they started introducing 2017, several modifications as and when either the PAT members or the stakeholders, colleges themselves give feedback to the NAC, they try to modify, try to accommodate this. And see, previously there was a column, how many foreign students are there, how many other state students are there. Many institutions express difficulties. Therefore, that has been removed. So, even now, in the last revision, that is February 2020, there are some optional matrix. And this optional matrix applicable only for colleges, not for universities. Because in this type-wise education system, there can be a few matrices which may not be applicable to all the higher education. Thus, in order to facilitate HCIs, NAC has come out with this concept of non-applicable matrix. Thus, a provision has been made for the HCIs to opt out some of the matrices which may not be applicable to them for various reasons. Now, following are the rules for opting out non-applicable matrices. This is available in Appendix 3 of the Manual for Colleges. In the case of PERI, maximum weightage of matrix that can be opted out should not exceed 30. Please note, before February, it was 50. So 3% only you can opt out. And all the matrices in criteria 1, 2, 7, that is curricular aspect, teaching and evaluation, and institute values other things. 1 to 7 are essential. You cannot opt out. So you can opt out some matrices from criteria 3, 4, 5, 6. And even here, in a particular criteria, you can opt out maximum 10 only. So you cannot opt out, say, all the 30 from a single matrix or 2 matrices. Please note, the optional matrix across the 4 criteria have been identified It has been given. So based on that, we can opt out. Please note that this decision is aimed at helping the higher education institution, as they will not be assessed on the matrices not applicable to them because you have opted out. HCA is willing to opt out 3% of the non-applicable matrices as per the guidelines in the Appendix 3, need to exercise the same prior to the final submission of SSR. You have to opt out before submitting SSR. Please note, supporting documents for quantitative matrices are given separately. Support what you should give, what evidences to give. Please note, student satisfaction survey, now 20% of the student. Previously, it is 10%. And window is open throughout the year. Previously, only 2 times, now it is open throughout the year. I have given the template for all the 4 different types of institutions: universities, autonomous colleges, UG college, PG college. Curriculum aspects. Look at universities 150 autonomous because they design the curriculum. UG college, PG colleges, they don't design and therefore only 100. Teaching, learning, evaluation. For university 200, autonomous college 300, colleges 350. Please note, this is very, very important. Because of the 1000 marks, more than 1/3 comes from this. So if you want to get A or A+, you have to concentrate on criterion 2 essentially. Research, innovation, extension, criteria 3. For university given emphasis 250. Autonomous college is 150. UG college only 110. PG 120. Just 10 marks difference between UG and infrastructure learning, so all of them 100. Student support and progression. This is important for the colleges. University 100, autonomous college 100. But for UG college, this is 140, please note. And PG college 130. So the college has PERI Institute or the Arts and Science College, you have to concentrate on this because 140 plus 350, 600 marks come from 3 criteria. So you have to concentrate on this. Governance, leadership, management, there is no difference. Institute values and best practices, no difference. Now, this slide shows what the NAC expects. What has been given the NAC manual, I have just put it. This criterion pertains to the practices of an institution initiating a wide range of program absence. What is a program absence? A degree is a program. BE is a degree. ME is a degree. PhD is a degree. BA is a degree. BSc is a degree. BCom is a degree. So when I say program, we are talking about a degree. And the courses, BSc may be a degree, but in the BSc there may be microbiology, there may be chemistry, there may be physics. These are all courses. So under the program, different courses that are in tune with emerging and you should also take relevant the local needs. Apart from the issues of diversity and academic flexibility, different types of programs, different types of courses, different electives. That's what we talk about, academic flexibility. Aspects on career orientation, feedback updating. Please note, involve the stakeholders in the, like the students, teachers, employees, and alumni. All the 4, what they feel about the curriculum, are all caught in this particular criteria. Please note, this is 100 for the colleges as far as PERI is concerned. We are not going to bother about curriculum design development. That is only for universities and academic staff. Sorry, autonomous colleges. We should be bothered about curriculum planning and implementation. We'll see what it is. Academic flexibility, number of certificate courses, number of etc. etc. Curriculum enrichment, apart from the curriculum, invited lectures, field trip, internship, etc. etc. Feedback system. So, the college back from the students like students, teachers, employers, and alumni. About the curriculum, please note. And whether it can be covered within the stipulated time. And whether it integrates ICT to develop global competencies. Good citizenship. Environment and such. All this must be integrated in the curriculum. Then with the help of IKSC, or it can send the faculty to transfer purpose. Its recommendations can be communicated to the chairman or members of the board of studies, or he or she can present if he is a member of the academic council or member of the board of studies. The college through IKSC curriculum is implemented as per the academic calendar, including the continuous internal evaluation. And whether the teaching plan and teacher's diary are all in time. And simply I can say whether the adequate documents are. So this is what you are, as far as PERI is concerned. This university relevant program can also be done by the colleges. Okay. The affiliate colleges through University Board of Studies or immediately the chairman express the curriculum is important. With regard to university, here we are talking about curriculum enrichment. And then most importantly, we will talk about it later. Prescribing the program outcome. See, at the end of the program, the graduate is coming to the program, what he will be. And then program specific outcomes. Program I will explain. It should also focus on employability, entrepreneurship, and skill development. Please note, we have to also talk about educational objectives. Please note, objectives for the institute of a teacher, institution, or the curriculum designed by universities and colleges. Please note that technological advancements are some of the key driving forces of the future. So our students will have to be prepared to face these challenges and seize the opportunities brought out this was. And again, compared, we already talked about, which develops certain critical core competencies such as collaboration, digital literacy, critical thinking, problem solving, self-learning. These are all coming under the curriculum should provide the direction so that the student can learn by themselves and work both independently and interdependently. Interdependently between the teacher and the taught or among the students. Please note the curriculum and instruction are designed to challenge all the students. It should not be so easy for everybody to get through. And provides for the differentiation. Only an intelligent student should be able to get 100%. And very good students will be able to identify. So it should be able to differentiate. So are skills. Skills are outcome, which students will be acquiring at the end. Dealing with one discutting issues like human values, concerns both nationally and internationally. Well, again, I told you multiple intelligences. This is a must. Because we concentrate only on cognitive intelligence. And because of the Supreme Court, we are having environmental religions. But friends, because of course, it fails in a particular subject, he or she commits suicide. They should be able to see the reason behind every emotion. They should be taught about social intelligence. And our students should be taught about spiritual intelligence. Now it is coming in because you do it with utmost concentration, you will succeed. Moral intelligence, in our days we used to have moral science classes. Nowadays it is given by morality is being a question and we have to get back. Innovative intelligence. Here I have to talk about, please remember, as I said, today say understand the subject. Only when they understand, they can start thinking. Only when they think, they can start critical thinking. Critical. So innovative then means the students must made to understand and made to discuss in the class on which benefits the society. Which benefit do must benefit the teachers and the students because they are the real beneficiaries. I should make the educational process of teaching easier for the student. Teachers and learning process of the students easier. That's what I mean. So you should insist on a holistic development of the individual, which is possible only when they have all the intelligences. Then you should have higher order thinking. I'm going to talk about next. What is higher order thinking skill? Now we are coming to Axel Bloom's taxonomy, which was characteristic of educational technology. Now it has come to all the disciplines. Please remember, thinking skills can be.
Sorry for the interruption. So kindly unmute yourself, sir.
Is it okay now? Is it okay now?
Yes, sir. But you. Sir, are you there?
Yeah, it's there. Yes.
The voice is not audible, sir. Presenter voice is not audible, sir.
The mic is muted or not?
Muted, sir.
Muted, sir. Sir, kindly unmute yourself, sir.
Hello, Professor sir. Hello. I
Yeah.
think he has taken off.
Call him one more.
Actually, he has some network fluctuations, sir.
Yeah,
The audibility also has not.
That's why it's breaking down. I think this network is problem. But anyhow, I'll
Yeah.
call him. And tell him. Call him.
Okay, sir. I think he will join back. Yeah.
Yeah. You will call also. Yeah. That is why right from the beginning, a little bit hiccup is there. Okay, let us write on call.
Hello?
Hello, yes, sir. Yeah.
I'll come back.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
It's okay?
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, sir. Yeah, please go ahead. Presentation supposed to come. Yeah.
You want this slide is okay. This is okay? Okay, I'll go to slideshow.
Slideshow, yeah, please go to slideshow, sir. You go for slideshow and select the
Yeah.
individual slide, sir. Instead of going for first slide. Yeah, now it's correct.
Okay.
Now it's good. Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
Okay. Okay. So the problem state, as you could see, the lowest level is remember, this memory. Understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, create. So from the bottom we go up, the thinking skill, order of the thinking skill increases. So the Bloom's taxonomy is affecting all the disciplines, and through that we are trying to discuss program outcomes, program specific outcomes, course outcomes, and UGC and the NAC.
Nana sir, minimize Google open.
You want me to minimize it? Hello?
Sir, slideshow இல்லாம நார்மல் PPT ரன் பண்ண பெட்டரா இருக்கும் நினைக்கிறேன் சார். You can avoid a slideshow.
Okay.
The individual slide you can
Okay.
select and go ahead, sir. Then it will be
Okay.
good because it's overlapping. Full screen is coming. Yeah.
Now, this is Bloom's taxonomy. When you go from here to the top, there is order of the skill is increasing. Remember, suppose if you give a quiz, please remember, quiz, you are just testing his memory. If you ask a student to give a seminar, unless otherwise he understands, he cannot give a seminar. Apply. You ask him to give a case study, it has to be applied. To analyze, to give an assignment whereby you may have make the student analyze the whole situation. It may be. Then evaluate. A group discussion, a project discussion, group discussion. You are evaluating. A create project. So, by appropriate test, quiz, seminar, case study, assignment for analyzing, group discussion and on projects, project, all these things test the individual levels of the learning. Or you can use the action verb. Say for example, define or memorize or state, that test the memory. Explain, classify, identify, these are the action verbs which test the understanding. Execute, implement, demonstrate, interpret, where application comes in. Differentiate, organize, relate, compare, contrast, distinguish, or examine. All these talks about analytical skill. Justify the stand, argue, or judge, how will you support, all these things talks about evaluation. Produce a new or original one. design a synthesis, assemble a one, construct one, develop one, formulate one. These are all talking about creation. So from bottom to top, we are increasing the thinking. Friends, corporate design must also take care of the 20th century skills, which talks about digital age literacy. Let me not go in detail. Which talks about inventive thinking, not thinking. Higher order thinking, we already discussed. Sound reasoning, not reasoning, sound reasoning. Effective, not communication, effective communication and productivity. So, in short, the curriculum design should take care of multiple intelligences, higher order thinking skills, and then the 20th century skills like digital literacy, inventive thinking, higher order thinking, sound reasoning, effective communication, and productivity. Those of you interested can go through it in detail. Now, friends, what is outcome-based education? Program outcomes, program-specific outcomes, course outcomes. Program outcomes means what the students must know and are able to do after graduating the program. I repeat, what the students must know and are able to do after graduating the program. Please note, it is common to several departments. B is a program. It may be mechanical engineering, it may be electrical engineering or electronic and communication engineering. So, when we talk of B as a program, the 12 things I will talk about later, UG program. We are talking about all the B students, be it mechanical, electrical, civil, whatever. What the student must know and must be able to do after finishing the B program. That's what. It is common to several departments, as I said, all the core engineering and other things. And the student action must be mentioned that are observable and measurable. This is important. The student action must be mentioned that are visible, observable, and measurable, quantifiable. Program-specific outcomes, the same thing but with a difference. What the graduates of a specific UG program, say for example mechanical UG or electrical UG, are to be able to do at the end time of graduation. So please note the departments can differentiate a program through PSOs. There is uniqueness or distinctness for the course. When I say course, different courses are the same program. And then course outcomes. What the students are expected to know, the attitudes they are expected to have, and what they are able to do as a result of taking a course. Here, when I talk about a course, a particular paper, please remember. Here, course stands for particular paper. And there is one important part we have to remember. While program outcomes and program-specific outcomes are measurable only at the end of the program, that is after finishing the BE course, 4 years. BE or any different mechanical or whatever may be. So they can measure after finishing the program, please note, at the end of the program. Whereas the course are done by the course coordinator. The course are. Please note this. I repeat, if the program outcomes and program specific outcomes are done after finishing the program, after 4 years in the case of B, after 3 years in the case of UG, after 5 years in the case of BSc and MSc. Then after finishing, but the course outcome, that is particular paper, they are being done when the course is up. That is, the course teacher gives a quiz and assess the remembering power. The course teacher gives a seminar and try to understand whether the students have understood. The course teacher gives a case study. So like that, the different levels of Bloom's taxonomy as an internal assessment, a group discussion, and so on and so forth. So the course teacher assesses the course outcomes when the course is on. Please, this is the major difference. And friends, I want to tell you, particularly arts, science, commerce, what should be the program outcomes, what should be the program system, what should be the course outcomes has already been defined by the model curriculum made available in the UGC website. That was made available only on 17/4/2020. Various boards of studies, boards met, and they framed the program outcome, program specific outcomes, course outcome, etc. In the website is UGC website available for the arts, science, commerce, and again this is only for UG, not for PG. Please note that. Again, in the case of OB, little bit detail. What is OB? What matters is not what we teach, it is how they learn. When I say their students, in the OB, what matters is not what we teach, we the teacher teach. It is how they learn. According to Spaddy, who is the father of the outcome-based education, it means clearly focusing and organizing an educational system around what is essential for the students to be able to do successfully at the end of their learning experience, in the case of program. Starting with a clear picture of what is important for the students to be able to do. So, please remember, starting with a clear picture of what is important for the student to be able to do, then organize the curriculum accordingly. You set the goals, outcomes. Then to attain that goal, what should be the curriculum? Then what should be the kind of instruction, the teaching method? And what should be the kind of assessment? As I said, quiz is one thing, seminars are another thing, case is another thing, project like that, assess different. Please note, it should be in that order. So set the outcome, then design the curriculum. After design the curriculum, then design the instruction methodology, then do the assignment. So in that order. That's all, Toby. Some disturbance. Hello. So outcome-based education is an educational theory that bases each part of the education system around outcomes. The emphasis in OBE system is on measuring the outcome rather than the input. Please note, measuring the outcome. Each education institution is responsible for setting its own outcomes. An education institution which follows the principle of outcome-based learning addresses the following question. Are my students are learning? What are they learning? How well are they learning? What affects their learning? How much they have learned? In all the above questions, you can see every question target on learning. So outcome-based education is the only learning philosophy which targets only to learning of the student. Please note, a learning philosophy which targets only to the learning of student. Everything is centered around the learning rather than teaching. I repeat, everything is centered around learning rather than teaching. In the OBE learning are defined in the form of outcome, therefore it is known as outcome-based education. Since everything is outcome, there are certain criteria and outcome must follow. good learning outcomes must be achievable. Please note. Good learning outcomes must be achievable, observable, measurable, and challenging. It's not easy. Achievable, observable, measurable, challenging. In the OB approach, a teacher in the outcome-based education follows a different approach. A teacher first fixes the outcome they expected from a class by teaching a particular course. Once the outcome is decided, fixed, then it becomes easy to decide the strategies and methodologies to achieve the outcomes. So, identifying the desired outcome, identifying, then deciding the strategies and methodologies to achieve these outcomes. Then determine the assessment methods for the achievement of outcomes. So, curriculum, outcome, curriculum, teaching methodology, and then assessment. So, this is what. Finally, whatever strategies and methodologies are decided, a teacher must design and formulate the assessment tools in order to validate the achievement of learning outcomes. As I said, whether it's going to be a quiz or whether it's going to be a seminar, whether it's going to be a project or a group discussion, assignment, etc. A teacher designs the strategies, provide the knowledge up to the application level. Then the assessment must also be there to check the knowledge up to that level. Now, why should we have OB? First of all, clarity. Students have a clear understanding of what is expected on them at the end of the course. That's what I mean by clarity. Flexibility. Using various teaching methods and assessment systems is a flexible method. Involvement. The students are expected to their own learning to gain the full understanding of the material on their own. That will happen only when the students get involved. Then comparison. Comparison easily across the institutions. Allow the student to move between the institution with a relative ease. Then everybody follows OBE. Well, that finishes criteria 1. Criterion 2, which is very, very important. Whatever the manual says, I'm just going through it. This criterion pertains to the effects of an institution to serve the students of different backgrounds and abilities. A poor student, average student, intelligent, through effective teaching learning experience. Interactive instructional techniques. Please note the word interactive instructional techniques that engage the students in higher order thinking and investigation through the use of interviews, focused group discussions, debates, projects, presentations, experiments, practicum, internship, and application of IT resources are important considerations. It also probes into the adequacy and competence. Please note the word very carefully. Adequacy, enough. Competence, as well as the continuous professional development of the faculty. Whether adequate number of teachers are there, whether they are competent, whether they continuously do the faculty development programs, who handle the program. The efficiency of the techniques used to continuously evaluate the performance of teachers, APAs, and the students, not only teachers, but is a major concern in this country. Please note of late.
Excuse me, sir.
Digital
PPT is not
resources for learning. PPT is not visible. Hello?
Yes, sir. PPT is not visible. Yes,
My
sir.
God. I don't see any change. Okay, I'll just check.
Please, sir.
Now it must be. Am I right? Are you able to see it?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. It is not now visible. It is.
Yeah, now it comes.
Okay, yeah. Of late, digital resources for learning have become available, and this makes the learning more individualized, creative, and dynamic. So please note, digital resources must be used in the teaching learning process. The quality of learning provided in the institution depends largely on the teacher's readiness. Please note, teacher's readiness to draw upon such recently available technology support, such as Google Classroom, etc. Recently available technology support, and also the initiative to develop such learning resources to enrich teaching learning. You can create e-content like that. On teachers' familiarity with the learning management system. Teachers' familiarity with the learning management system. Say, for example, MOOC courses, e-platform. That is, all those electronic gadgets that enable the student to learn outside the classroom are called LMS, Learning Management System, are nothing but those electronic gadgets that are made available outside the classroom to learn by the students. So other e-resources. How to meaningfully incorporate all these in one scheme of teaching learning. All these are expected from criteria 2. So you have to take, this is 350 marks, both PERI technology and the arts and science college. The marks are different key indicators are student enrollment profile, should be transparent, you should have equity, gender equity, and then the cost, I mean the OBC, SC equity. Cater the student diversity, because there will be average learner, slow learner, fast learner. For fast learners, you have to get special program. For the slow learners, you have to have remedial courses. Teaching learning process, as I said, how we are going to use effectively the teaching learning ICT tools to teach. Teachers' profile and quality. What are the quality teachers? And how they undergo faculty development programs. How they enrich, all those things. Then the evaluation process. Evaluation process transparent, visible, and objective. And what are the reforms you have? Student performance and learning outcomes. Here we talk about the POs, PSOs, POs, all these things, along with COs. Finally, student satisfaction survey. So all these are the key indicators in criteria 2. So I'll quickly go through it. The institution has to ensure that the admission process is transparent and there is not only gender equity, but also social inclusiveness in the student profile. That is SC, ST, OBC, etc. The college needs to ensure that there is existing mechanism whereby the advanced learners and solo learners are identified and there is a proper mentoring for both. Solo learners, sometimes advanced learners are not kept. Advanced learners also. You can have remedial courses, tutor mentor system. Wherever needed, you can have orientation program, 8 courses. In the case of teaching learning process, the college needs to ensure various kinds of teaching learning methodology. Problem solving approaches, project-based learning, experiential learning, experimental learning. This apart, the college must foster or promote independent learning. Learn on your own. The student must be able to on his own. Interactive learning. Interact with the teacher that taught and interaction among the students. This is collaborative learning. Collaborative learning, when I say, the students must form in a buddy group. When I say buddy group, the different levels of learners must be put together. I repeat, the different levels of learners must be put together. Say, for example, in a group, there should be some fast learners. There should be some weak learners, some are. So mix them. make a group.
Sir, sorry, sir.
Tell me. Please tell me.
No issue, sir. If audio has been cutted, right now it's okay.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead. Now it's okay.
Maybe some, I know. So, we have to think of collaborative learning where different levels of students are mixed together. So, independent learning, interactive learning, collaborative learning is the order of the day, because that leads to creativity. Independent learning means, as I said, they understand. When they interact, they question, their way of thinking is promoted. And critical thinking will happen. Then creative thinking, which leads to innovation. That's the need of the other. So creativity has to be ensured with active learning. Don't allow anyone to be passive in the classroom. Don't allow any student to learn by rote, that is memory based. Through the IKSE, need to foster student-centric approaches. I use the word student-centered approach in the teaching learning process. I'll give the example. Every one of you teaches with the help of PowerPoint, but you are satisfied with that. I would request you to go one step further. That is, convert your PPT into a CD or pen drive, put it in the department library or college library. Don't keep it yourself. Please note, till now it was your PPT. Now we are converting into a CD or pen drive, put in library. Now it becomes an open educational resource. It can be accessed by any student, any other teacher. Or you can put your PPT in the e-platform of your college, Moodle platform. Or you can put your PPT in the Dropbox or website. These are all accessible to others. That is, they are all open education sources. Or you can create your own YouTube where you can put all your PPTs. Please note, your PPT have now become open education source. You may ask me, sir, why should I do it? Because there are several advantages. Now it becomes, as I said, open education source. A student who is in the class listening to a PPT might have understood only 40% of what you have said. In spite of his best attempts, his understanding capacity is less. If the PPT is made available as an open education source, at a time convenient to him, from a place convenient to him, he can revisit the PPT in the morning or evening, in the night. When he revisits, understanding from 40% becomes 80%, again revisit 100%. Thereby, you are enabling the student to understand. Is number one. Number two, a student, for some reason, is mentally disturbed. He may be physically present in the class and mentally absent. He may not be able to listen to you at all. But when his mind pops up, when his mind is ready to receive, if the material is available as an open education source, maybe as a CD or a pen drive or a Dropbox or the e-platform, she or he can visit that when the mind is ready. Please note, when the mind pops up to receive, go through it, understand it. So at that time convenient to him, when the mind is ready, from the place convenient to him, he or she can learn. This is another advantage. Third one, if a student has not come to the class, an absent student can visit this and make up for the loss of absence. So these are the several advantages. See, when you convert into an open, it becomes a LMS, Learning Management System. So the student has the choice, freedom to learn the subject. We call this process learner's autonomy. Don't force the student to learn the subject only from you, only at that time, only with that particular text also. Please give him the opportunity. Let him choose the time. Let him choose when his mind is ready. Choose the time, the speed, and so on and so forth. This is what we call it student-centered. We have a student in our mind and we give them the opportunity to learn on their own. So this is what, again, there's one more advantage. Because when you convert into a CD or pen drive, you can tell the NACPA team, you have created the e-gadget. Or if you put in the e-platform, I have contributed the e-platform. Or you have created e-content. It's all helpful in the assessment of NAC. And not only that, suppose a senior teacher, let me assume, a particular teacher is an expert in mechanical engineering. And he suddenly goes on leave. And what the normally HODs do, they ask the junior most teacher to go and take the particular class. But if the PPT of that lecture is available, prepared with the senior most teacher with all rich experiences, this young guy can use the same PPT with whatever inputs he wants to add, he can add. Thereby, the student stands to get the benefit of the experiences and the expectations of the senior teacher, along with the near inputs from the younger teacher. So these are all several advantages, whereby near converts the PPT into open education. So on the whole process is called student-centric learning process. This must be promoted by the institution. And friends, I am sorry to tell you, our teachers are not using the IT effectively. I'm sorry to say this. Now, wherever I go, I tell IT is no longer information technology. It is equal to Indian technology. You may ask me a question, how dare you say, sir? Look at IBM. Who is the CEO? Aravind Krishna. Look at Google. Who is the CEO? Sundar Pichai. Look at Microsoft. Who is the CEO? Satya Nadella. Adobe. Look at Maestro. Look at all the top IT companies of the world. Every company is manned by Indian. You are the best brain. But unfortunately, we don't use the brain here in India for the welfare of India, particularly the teachers for the welfare of the student. And with the pain I'm saying, our teachers must promote the usage of social networks like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, blogs, etc. for assignments, evaluation, etc. Why I say this? Suppose we give an assignment in a class, one student watches, and that student may inadvertently make a mistake in the 4th page, 14th line. When I get the assessment of assignment, all the students, everyone has got the same mistake at the 4th page, 14th line. Please remember, every student can write the right answer, but everybody cannot write the wrong answer. That leads to the inescapable information that one has what all of us have copied. Now I want them to be arrested. This kind of assignment is no use. You create a Facebook group or you create a WhatsApp group, give them the assignment. Suppose you say 12:10, somebody copies 12:11, then 12:30. So I know who has first one and who has copied. They will make them to work independently. So IT should be properly used for assignments, etc. We have to foster. And then we have to promote blended learning and flipped learning. I'll quickly go through solid timing. Blending means mixing. Blended coffee, everyone knows, mixing. In the blended learning, the first part is you give the video lecture of your portion, whatever subject. First 20 minutes, video lecture. Followed by explaining the video content by the teacher to the student to remove the difficulties, if any, maybe language difficulties or concept difficulties. Then the teacher may provoke the student to ask questions. See, here means he may say, this is what that was said in the video. Wantonly make a mistake. Definitely some student will stand up No, madam, no, not there. Then what is that? Why is that? How is that? You try to answer a question by another question. So prolong that question, thereby make the student to think. So the first part of the video lecture is to develop interest in the subject. Because friends, you must know that when the eye sees, ear hears, and the heart feels, the real education takes place. I repeat, when the eye sees something, ear hearing something, at the same time heart is feeling. That is possible through a video or simulation. So to develop interest in the subject among the students, please note today's students are not interested in learning. They come to the college just to enjoy the life. So to make a student who is uninterested to develop interest subject, the video lectures are useful. But while listening to that, he or she may have difficulties with regard to language. Say for example, USA person will say anti. I will say anti. Pronunciation by American is different, British is different, Australian, because you get videos from different countries. Therefore, please note, the teacher must explain the difficulties in the languages, and sometimes the concept itself may be difficult. So the teacher has to explain the video content in a simple sentence, in a loose style, so that everything is clearly understood by the students. That's the second part. That is teacher-taught interaction. The third part is, as I said, thinking part, where the teacher wantonly make a mistake, thereby provoking the student to answer, raise a question. The teacher should politely ask what is wrong, why it is wrong, how it is wrong, how it can be corrected, like that. Answer a question to another question. So provoke the student to ask questions, pursue with the question. Finally, if it is not possible, provide the answer. I call it as a 3P formula. Then make the entire class start thinking through questioning. So first level, to develop interest. Second, understand. The third part to make the student think, where teacher-student interaction and interaction among the student. This is what in the blended learning, which is practiced throughout the world, because this makes the student understand. As I said, understanding it, thinking lead to critical thinking, critical into creative thinking, which leads to innovation. Well, you may ask a question. Why am I to go for videos, sir? The videos are available in the MOOC courses, massive open online courses, such as EDX, hosted by Harvard and MIT, Coursera, hosted by Stanford, Khan Academy, hosted by Indian at California, PhD, hosted by Colorado, Wolfram Alpha, NPTL, Indian, the IAC at the top of the all the IIT, 7. SEM, India's MOOC. All these MOOC courses. Please note there are 4 quadrants. The first quadrant is e-tutorial, where video lectures or simulations will be there. The second quadrant is the e-content, the material. The third quadrant is interaction. Interaction with the teacher, the taught, and interaction among the student. The fourth quadrant is self-assessment, assessed by the student themselves. So the video lectures for all the subjects are available in these MOOC platforms. So video lectures are there, then you practice blended learning. Flipped learning. Flip means ulta. What do you mean by that? In the flipped learning, students are made to learn at their home. Please go. You assign the person, ask them to go through the books or MOOC platform. Let them learn at their home and let them interact among themselves if there is any difficulty. So the first 2 parts of the Bloom's taxonomy, remembering and understanding, takes place in their home or outside the classroom. After learning the subject, understanding it, they just come to class. In the class, you create a discussion, group discussion. Application and analysis happens in the class. So the class hours are used just to discuss this. Then again, based on that, you give an evaluation process or give a project. So thereby, this is called flip learning. There is a story of my experience learning, which will take 5 or 6 minutes. I'm not going to share with you. Well, friends, blended learning, flip learning are the order of the day. And if you're so ICT savvy, you can use softwares like Hot Potatoes, Moodle LMS tool, etc. But again, you can use by exam parts for online examinations. The 10 most popular tools I would suggest are particularly Google Classrooms, Edmodo, Remind, Evernote, EdPuzzle, Easy Class, etc. Particularly, I will insist on Google Classroom because Google Classroom is an educational hub. I repeat, it's an educational hub where content is there, where you can have assignments, you can have art, you can have discussion. Everything is there. Therefore, I recommend it. And then with regard to evaluation process, every academic program must have well-structured evaluation process. The academic calendar, annual prospectus, and the website must provide information about the evaluation process, both formative and that is continuous and final exams. And what is the minimum attendance required to attend the exam? What is the passing minimum? Internal, external, everything should be there. What are the core courses? What are the discipline-specific electives? What are the ability enhancement compulsory courses? What are the skill enhancement courses? What are the general electives? Mark for the project, how much? Internship, partnership for the different programs. Everything in the academic calendar must be there. It must be there in the website also. Then the whole exam process was automated with ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning, examination automation system, with barcode or haptic mark recognition to enable the answer sheets, effective grievance mechanism, and then with appropriate GPA, GCPA, security features, etc., etc. Please note, with regard to evaluation, the university or college must ensure that the evaluation process is continuous and fair, very important. There should be formative, that is continuous, and summative. And then there should be proper grievance addressal mechanism for evaluation process. Finally, this criteria. Some disturbances. Finally, the student satisfaction levels should be reflected in the survey. Please note, 20% of students will be, and the mark carries is 60. Previously, it was only 30. And some teachers intend to do this mistake. Please note that survey will have 20 questions. All ABCD type. Excellent. Very good. Good. Okay. Bad. Like that. And then, suppose the teaching learning process in your institutions. Excellent. Very good. Good. Okay. Bad. What we teachers will ask the students is, put everything here. The highest mark. Well, friends, you are committing a mistake. This is a catchy question because there is a 21st question which is compulsory for all the students, which will say, give at least 3 suggestions to improve the teaching learning process. You would have told your students, put A for all the 20. And finally, in the 21st question, that fellow will write, some teachers have to improve their English or communication. Some teachers are not coming to class on time. Some teachers are not assessing, evaluating properly. If they are, this all goes against the top.
PPT is missing.
Please be careful. PPT is missing.
Yes, sir.
Maybe some
It's not
web
visible.
connection. Okay, again. Yeah, again I'll go. No problem.
Please.
Yeah, now it's visible, right? It must be visible. Hello?
Sir, it to come. Yes,
Hello?
sir. It's come. Yeah, it's coming, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now we are coming to CO attainment, course outcome. Please note, I have already told you the course outcome should be related to Bloom's taxonomy. I repeat, it should be related to Bloom's taxonomy. Suppose if there may be portions where you will be testing only remembering or memory. There may be questions which you may be testing understanding. There may be questions where you are testing only application. There may be questions where you will be analyzing it. There may be portions where you are evaluating. There will be portions where you decide. So depending upon the action verb or depending upon whether it's a quiz or seminar or a case study or an assignment for application or group, you can CO1 remembering, CO2 understand, CO3 apply, CO4 analyze, CO5 evaluate, CO6 decide, in that order. So we are relating Bloom's taxonomy and the COs. So the assessment should be in alignment. Assessment, as I said, seminar, case. The question must be so set to assess all the COs, all the 6 COs. The average marks obtained assessment against items for each CO will indicate the CO attained. Then the user can set targets for each CO of his or her course. Attainment gaps can then be identified. Instead can then plan to reduce the attainment gaps or enhance the attainment targets. If the assignment is in alignment with COs, the performance of student indicates CO attained. All POs can be adequately addressed through the selection of core courses and their COs. These measurements provide the basis for continuous improvement in the quality of learning, which the NAAC or NBA ultimately aims. Please note, the CO attainment, COPO mapping, all these are very, very important, much more important for NBA than for NAAC. Yeah, NAAC is also important, but the marks allotted is only 30 people. We'll see it later. So attain the POs, PSOs, COs. The process of attaining COs, POs, PSOs starts from writing appropriate COs for each course in arts, science, commerce. Now you can add engineering. For a 3-year EG program or a 4-year BE program, 2-year PG program. The course outcomes are written by the respective faculty members. Please note, the course outcomes are written by the respective faculty members using action verbs of learning levels as suggested in the Bloom's taxonomy. Then, a correlation is established between COs and POs. COs on the left side. 1, CO1, CO2, CO3, CO like that. And POs from left to right. All the 12 POs in the case of engineer or any other courses. And COs and PSOs similarly. COs are the top to bottom, left end. For the PSOs, you can have 4 or 6, whatever you want, left to right. Yeah, please note, there is a correlation established between COs and POs and COs and PSOs on the scale of 0 to 3. That means, suppose you are questioning CO1, that is remembering. Engineering knowledge, he has to remember. So the question relates to that. Correlation means 3, highest. Not understood properly. Medium correlation. So the scale of 0 to 3, 0 being no correlation, 1 being low correlation, 2 being medium correlation, 3 being high correlation. Repeat. Left hand, CO, C1, C2, that, and from left to right, the POs. So from CO1, that take 0 or 1 or 2, 3 like that. That's how they are. Similarly for PSO. And you can, arts and science colleges, they can go to several SSR reports of universities, colleges, which have done it wonderfully well. And then friends, we have to know what is graduate attributes. I told you the graduate attributes are more or less in alignment with PEOs. Now the graduate attributes are examples of the attributes expected of the graduate from an accredited program. Number 1, competence in the domain area. Whatever the area, engineering or arts, in his subject, he should be thorough in the fundamentals. That's what I mean. Competence means expertise. Expertise means he need not know everything in the subject. He or she should be thorough in the fundamentals. Competence in the domain area. And the graduates should be confident. Now, confidence will come only when they have competency plus effective communication. Right kind of attitude for hard work and aptitude to excel whatever they do. All the 4 put together, the confidence. Congruence, adapt to situation. You cannot do the same civil engineering which you do in Chennai in another place, which is a rocky place or a muddy place. So you have to adapt to situations. AD, APT, that is fit to this, not AD, OPT. Creativity through critical and creative thinking, we already discussed here. Digital intelligence, our graduates should be able to use what I see tool, when and how. That's what I mean by digital intelligence. They should practice professional ethics. They should respect human values. They should know social interaction. That's what holistic intelligence. They should respect environmental sensitivity and maintain its sustainability. Leadership and teamship are essential for all the engineers or everybody. Good citizenship and Indian mind. Global competitiveness. Finally, self-directed and lifelong learning. All these are a must for a graduate. Well, what is program education objectives? Please note, objectives for the management or the institution or the teacher. They are broad statements that describe the career and the professional accomplishment that the program is preparing the graduate, that is, after finishing the program, to what job he will fit in. Whether he can continue the job, whether he can enhance his job, whether he has the necessary skills, etc. So, I repeat, describe the career or professional accomplishment that the program is preparing the graduates to achieve. When they have the graduate attributes, what I taught, they will automatically achieve. So PEOs are measured after 3 years of undergraduation, or in the case of engineering, 4 years of undergrad, or 5 years of graduation. They are set in order to measure the effectiveness of the program and to check whether it has prepared the student to deal with the real world. Please note, this is important. Whether the program prepares the student to deal with the real world. When you churn out the students as just regulars, without intelligence, they are useless to society. They are bad to society. So, prepare the student to deal with the real world, where they could apply and use the skills and the knowledge they have learned to good use. In short, what the program exists, that's what the program educational objective stands for. It's not objective. The course objective describes what the course. So objectives are for teacher. Objectives are for the department. Objectives for the institution. Objectives for the management. So they are generally less broader than desirable goals and more broader than students' learning outcomes. Outcome. A detailed description of what a student must be able to do at the conclusion of a course. A detailed description of what a student must be able to do. We generally map the objective to the outcomes to analyze and document their attainment. Please note, an objective is more like a plan. An objective is more like a plan or a roadmap to reach and attain the outcomes. Now, PEOs for the arts and sciences. See, within a few years of obtaining an undergraduate degree in arts, science, or commerce, the student should be able to do 1. Subject proficiency. Succeed in obtaining a career appropriate to their interest. Education. And will become productive and valuable person, not useless person. How to do that? First, getting the job. Come to develop professionally through lifelong learning. Higher education. Other creative pursuit in the areas of expertise and interest. Exercise leadership qualities in a responsible, ethical, and innovative manner. For the same case, engineer, I put civil engineers for all the engineering. To impart science-based engineering education, to develop skills that will prepare the students for immediate employment in the relevant branch of engineering in industry, as against the model that just prepared them for postgraduate education. So they should be able to get the job immediately. Then to develop a human potential to its fullest extent, so that intellectually capable and imaginatively gifted leaders can emerge in a range of professions. Please note the word carefully. To develop human potential to its fullest extent, so that intellectually capable and imaginatively gifted leaders can emerge. To develop among students the awareness of and the competence to be savvy expert users of IT, information technology. I will talk about this. To develop the ability to work with others in professional and social setting. I talked about team and leadership. To develop a global view, because we are preparing engineers not for country alone, among students, so that they can appreciate diversity in the world and the interactive perception and the desire and ability to keep learning throughout the life. So these are all the engineering. Please remove civil, it's engineering. Program outcomes as designed by AICTE programs. PO1, 2, like that. Now, friends, this problem many of us.
ஆமாண்ணே போட்டு சாவடிக்கிறாங்க
Some,
காலையில நைட் மீட்டிங் இருக்கு
some disturbance is there. Yeah. Please unmute. COP. Please go to the article entitled COPA mapping and attainment booklet in the Journal of Engineering Education and Transport, which clearly defines COPO, PSO, PO assessment and attainment process manual, Mallar Engineering College for Women. Basics of outcome-based education by Rachel, My Classroom. There are several YouTubes which explain very easily how to calculate attainment of COPOs by Emmanuel. This is really good. COPO attainment calculations for NBA by Kiran Singh Pradhan. CO attainment calculation by Dr. Raja Mantri. NBA COP attainment calculation for subject and labs. A complete procedure by Saniswara Sarada. Attainment POs and PSOs by NPTL, IAC professor is talking about. Attainment COs, POs, PSOs for a course by Dr. Madana Mohana of BEd. I had this was really good. OBE, mapping of COs, it must be good, by trainer Bhaskar. COPO attainment by Raja Rai, by Kandal. Mapping of COs, POs by Umagatu. There are plenty of YouTubes which explain simply all these things. So go through all these things, learn on your own. Luckily, another 20 minutes to finish the entire course. Please note, third criteria is research, innovations, and extension. As per the NAC, this criterion seeks information on the policies, practices, and outcomes of the institution with reference to research, innovation, policies, practices, and outcomes. That's more. It deals with the facilities provided and the efforts by the institution to promote research culture. The institution is responsible to enable faculty to undertake research projects useful to the society. Serving the community through extension, which is a social responsibility, and a core value to be demonstrated by the institution, is also a major aspect of this criteria. So, the key indicators, the distribution of marks. Friends, the college must ensure that there is a research committee and encourages faculty to carry original quality innovative research by providing necessary facilities and the right ambience. Please note, this is very important. There is a need to identify new research areas suitable to the local and regional. Then the college must promote faculty to go for extramural funding. If it is not possible, give them seed money. Necessary research facilities need to be made available. Innovations in the institutions, which means something original, novel, need-based, relevant, which leads to social good, must be thought of and practiced. It may be a product innovation, it may be a process innovation, it may be a service innovation. In the case of engineering, it is a must. Product innovation, process innovation, service innovation, which benefits the society. A new strategy in the case of social sciences or the arts college. A new business model in the case of commerce and learning. Please note, you should adopt an appropriate ecosystem, that is innovation ecosystem, whereby innovation is enabled, IPR activities, you can have incubation center, academia interaction, academia industry interactions. Well, I'm not going to talk about different types of innovations because PERI or arts and science, you are not having more marks for research. I'll say it later. Of course, there are different innovations, methodological, technological, cross-disciplinary, etc. Yeah. But what is important is, even your college, particularly PERI, it's a PG institution. Publication is important. Research publication awards. The research quality must be reflected in terms of the following observable and measurable outcome. I repeat, observable and measurable. The quality must be reflected in terms of the publications in Scopus database, impact factor journals, and filing of patents. Of course, you can have UGC literature also. Your ability to attract extramural funding from AICT, UGC, CSR, etc. To establish individual, institution-industry collaboration with definite MOUs. Underline that. Collaboration with industries, network the neighborhood agencies, neighborhood bodies, and foster a closer relationship between the world of competent learning, that is we, and the world of skilled work, the industry. We have to offer consultants, transfer technology, or it may be ideation. Please note, consultancy in its true sense means an individual or the institution must get back something. There is no free consultancy. If it is offered free, it is only a service. So the college must foster consultancy by publishing the potentials available in the institute. Say the PERI Institute must list out. These are the faculties in mechanical engineering, civil engineering, etc. They have this competency. They are available for consult. Unless otherwise you let go, how the society will come. And then the college must promote extensive activities through NCC, NSS, Rover, Red Ribbon Club, etc. with the help of government agencies or NGOs, with proven evidences such as MOUs, newspaper cut. Please note, NAC doesn't believe words. It believes only documents. So everything must be documented and put in. Again, friends, I'm not going to concentrate much on this. The criterion 4 is adequacy and optimal use of facilities available in the institution are essential to maintain the quality of academic development. It also requires information on how every constituent of the institution, namely student, teachers, staff, benefit from this. The expansion of these facilities to meet the future development is included. Well, friend, these are the key indicators and the marks allotted. There is not much to talk on this criteria. Yeah. Please note, infrastructure is not just brick and mortar. Aesthetically designed campuses can change the way people perceive an institution. Again, here, building green and energy efficient campuses, which takes care of carbon neutrality, e-waste management, hazardous waste management, with all the latest technologies without compromising Indian traditions, really the job of the principal or vice chancellor. The student activity centers, meditation yoga halls, a good auditorium, state-of-the-art seminar halls, apart from an excellent user-friendly, computerized, automated ILMS, that is library management system, a digitized library, multi-gym, besides necessary facilities for sports and other cultural activities, has to be ensured with the college. This apart, the college has a major role in making the institution computer savvy. I'm sure PERI is having, by ensuring adequate computer facilities, ICT-enabled classrooms, smart classrooms, virtual learning facilities, language lab, network resource center, access to e-journals, e-books, etc., user-friendly dynamic website, etc. What is more important for the colleges, not only these facilities are made available, but they should be put to effective usage both by the faculty and the student. If possible, you can create virtual reality facility. The ambience of the campus must be such that it must enable the student to have a free interaction with the academics and their fellow mates in the matter of academic affairs. Underline, the campus must be made neatly and must be safe. Now, next criteria, student supported progression. The highlights are efforts of the institution provide necessary assistance to students to enable them to acquire meaningful experiences for learning at the campus and to facilitate their holistic development. It also looks into student performance and alumni profiles and the progress of students to higher education and again gainful employment. These are the marks. The institution must ensure that there is a tutor award preferred mentoring system.